So I just...
Yeah, hi guys. Welcome back.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to CK Medic's channel. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and watch ads, and
So that we can monetize. Yes.
So today, this particular video, we are going to be talking about rejection and how we dealt with it, and we're just going to talk about our experiences with being rejected.
And I think this is really fitting now because this is a time when universities are starting to give out conditional acceptances. And I know even with tax, the media transfers, I think by now they know the students that made it. So others are probably feeling like a failure. So let's take it back to matric for us.
Okay.
Okay. Because I think that's when we first
applied.
First applied for medicine.
Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Matric 2016. I was in matric 2016.
Oh wow, same year.
Really? Oh, okay. We'll be the same. We're the same age.
I think you're older.
Okay.
I won't put that on.
It's fine.
I'm a 99.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like a year ago.
You were 2 years ago. Oh no, I did my matric in 2015. I was in first year 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yes, okay.
Alright.
Okay, sorry. Matric 2015. I didn't apply for medicine, mainly because my marks from grade 11, which is what we usually use to apply, just to send through your application, my math mark was a 49%. My final grade 11 math mark was a 49%. And so, I'm sure if I were to apply for medicine, they'd look at me. I'm sure they'd just look at my report and think maybe she's joking.
Right?
She's joking.
She's not serious.
So I didn't apply for medicine in matric. I applied for dentistry. I applied for oral hygiene. I applied at tax for a BSc. I got rejected for it. I applied at UCT for dramatic arts.
Nice. Acting. Alright.
I applied, where else? I also applied to UWC for dentistry and oral hygiene.
Okay.
And the only acceptance I got was from Wits and from UCT with the dramatic arts.
Sure.
That was it. And my parents were like, well, you're not going to do dramatic arts.
Wait, this was when you were applying with your grade 11 marks.
So remember, you apply with your grade 11 marks and then automatically your matric marks are sent through once you write your finals. And then based on those applications and your matric marks, that's the acceptances that you're getting.
Oh yeah, I think
So I didn't get any conditional acceptances. All I remember was tax saying, no, we're not taking you for our BSc. And then the day I got my matric results, January 2016, that's when Wits and UCT responded. And then it was like, okay, well, you're not going to UCT, so it's automatically Wits. Got to Wits, and I think for the most part of it, I was just like, whatever, let me just do this.
Right. But when you were applying for your choices at Wits, were you just putting the end application for?
I really was, because for me it was a matter of
what do you qualify for.
Also, it was just the thing of, I knew already in my head, I was like, well, my mark's not good enough for medicine, so let's forget about that for now. Let's just forget about it, and then find something else.
Sure. And then maybe just compare your matric marks to your grade 11. So your maths in grade 11 was 49. So in matric, how did that?
In grade 11, it was 49. I've always struggled with chemistry, physics, math. I've always struggled with analytical subjects. And then in my matric, it was a 20% increase. I think I got 69% for maths. Physics was okay in grade 11, and matric as well was in the 60s. But again, typically I'm thinking, well, no one is going to take a medical student, or no one is going to take anyone into medicine with 60s in their critical subjects.
Right. And it's so competitive.
It's really competitive.
Ooh, oh yeah. So with me, okay, I matriculated in 2016. So throughout my high school, I've never been like an underachieving student.
Okay.
You know? So I was always one of the students forever in prize giving, top 10. Never like top, but
Yeah.
always, you know, top 10
Yeah.
vibes. And I was doing so well. Grade 11 was actually my best year.
Really?
Yeah, I even got.
Smart. I always say that. I don't know if it's PTSD, but
right?
I'm just like, if you pass grade 11 really well, you're really smart. Because what a difficult grade.
Wow.
I found it so difficult.
Grade 11 was my best academic year.
Wow.
I did so well. You know, I even got, we have these things, you know, you guys have those scrolls, colors.
Yes, academic colors.
Yes, I had academic full colors.
I go in grade 11. Okay.
End of grade 11 results, I was like one of only 4 students.
Wow.
So beginning of matric, I was one of 4 students with academic full colors. And I had never gotten anything below 60%, like on a report.
Won't that baby make a noise?
That baby? Okay. Ish.
We're just gonna have to wait.
Let's wait. When I got into matric, I got into it with this mentality that, you know what, yeah, I did well in grade 11.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought it was gonna be easy.
Full of yourself.
Yeah, I was full of myself, I think. Yeah, I didn't put in as much effort as I did in grade 11. So I ended up getting like a 59% in maths and physics. Yeah. So obviously I got rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah. In all medical schools I had applied at.
Yeah. And then after that, what happened then?
And then took a gap year.
Okay.
And during the gap year, I think, okay, I took the gap year because I wasn't sure about the whole BSc thing. So I had applied at UKZN also for BSc. I was supposed to go there, and then I went to inquire to one of the head of departments at their Westfield campus.
Yeah.
And that guy really just discouraged me, and he made me feel like, you know, this is just far-fetched.
Yeah.
It can never happen, you know.
They do that a lot.
They do, right? And I don't understand why they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up saying, you know what, because I'm not sure about this BSc thing, and my family doesn't really understand it. They don't. No one knows, you know. And I didn't have information at that time about it. So I was like, let me rather just take the gap year so that I get to explore other different routes I can take, you know. And yeah, it just so happened that the route that I got exposed to during that time was BSc. So I applied for that at UKZN and SMU. And then I ended up picking SMU. What was the difference between your grade 11 marks and your grade 12 marks now?
So my grade 11 marks were horrible. No. My maths mark in grade 11 was very bad. I got 49% on the dot. And then in matric, there was like a 20% increase with like my math mark. So I got like a 69% for maths in matric. But because I used my grade 11 marks to apply for medicine, I mean for other things, I didn't like apply for medicine because already I was like, wow, these marks are not good enough. And I think even with the 69%,
it was still not. It was a long shot.
It was a big shot. Yeah.
But I feel like I would have felt so much better if I knew at least that I meet the requirements. Because I had this fear that, you know what, even if I do well in varsity marks, because you know some universities still look at matric.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you did so well in varsity, but the mere fact that your matric you didn't meet the requirements, they'll still reject you because of that. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about depression while you're doing a course that you don't really like. Did you ever go through a depression while doing oral hygiene? I feel like as you're not in the center, can you come this side? Yeah. And why do I suddenly look so tall?
You do. You do. Yeah. Is it fine now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think because we didn't really we weren't so well versed on mental health back then, and by back then I mean like 5 years ago, I wouldn't necessarily say that, looking back, I wouldn't say that I knew that I was depressed. However, I think now when being more well versed on mental health issues, I definitely think I think I was depressed. Like there were days where I was so out of it, I was so sad because firstly, this is not what I want to be doing. Secondly, when you're in the moment, you just want things to happen so quickly. And
don't understand why is it not happening at your pace.
Exactly. And I think that takes a toll on you, because it's like, when is my turn when coming? So I was just constantly, I was not in it most of the time, and I was just constantly very, very anxious about, okay, now that I know that I can get into medicine, will I get into medicine? And when I don't do good in tests, I'm so sad, I'm blaming myself, I'm just not taking things well, and that really put me into like a downward.
And did that ever affect your academics? Your
Not
academic
really,
performance?
Not really, no. I think if anything, if it did affect my academic performance, it would be that, okay, now that I failed this test, the next test, if you fail it,
you're playing.
Yeah.
You're playing.
Yeah.
You're
So
the chances.
yeah, every time if I do bad in a test, it would be, sweetie, pick up your socks and let's study, and I would study.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I also relate to that. I think within like the second month of
Yeah.
BSc, I fell into a depression. So bad that I stopped attending classes, because for some reason when I attended classes, I felt intimidated. Because already you're in a BSc class, more than 300 people.
Sure.
Most of the students want to do medicine.
Right.
And you know that not everyone can. You're already told that about maybe 5 of you at the end of the year will get into medicine next year. So you already, when you see students like explaining processes and topics that you don't even understand,
You're thinking,
you're
what's
thinking,
happening with me?
see here you don't even stand a chance.
But you know what I've realized? People who are always answering questions in class, not to say it's a bad thing to answer questions in class, like answer their questions.
Yeah.
But
right.
Don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Just it's good to mind your own, right?
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself.
Yeah.
Just because someone is active in class or they are inquisitive does not necessarily mean they know more or what. Yeah. So I ended up like not attending classes at all. I'd only go to campus if I had practicals.
Okay.
Yeah, and luckily they weren't taking any register or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that helped a lot, and I would stay in my room, but it made me more productive. That's one thing I appreciate about this whole rejection process. The depression actually grounded me. Yeah, and made me more productive, because I didn't have a social life. I wouldn't even go out to party and whatnot. Like the first time I went to Groove was actually last year. I was a first year medical student. Yeah. So yeah.
You were
so I'm
a
just
nerd.
glad I was a nerd in BSc.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I allowed myself to go through that process.
Right.
Because we're not the same. Other people are able to balance things. There are students who had a social life but were getting similar marks than me and maybe even better. But I know myself that I'm not so good at balancing things.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, you need to be focused.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know with you, how was your social life in oral hygiene?
No, I partied when it was time to party.
Ramfontein.
Yeah. Clubbing with my friends. Like when I got to varsity, I was like, okay, I'm in university, I'm going to experience everything. From the nightlife to the daytime, everything. Right. I basically just said, okay. Yeah.
And you still
let me party.
Still ace this thing, eh?
Obviously, because it's not like I partied every single day.
Yeah.
It would just be like that one weekend or those 2 weekends in a month.
Yeah.
And then the other time, I'm studying. So even if I knew that this coming weekend we've got somewhere that we're going, I'd study to make sure that when I am partying, I am guilt free and I am enjoying myself.
Right.
So lived my best life.
Okay, let's talk about applications now. Did you apply every year when you were doing oral hygiene?
Yeah.
Or
okay.
Did you apply in your final year?
So in my first year at varsity, I decided to apply, but I only applied to SMU.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was for medicine.
For medicine,
yes.
Yeah. So I applied, and then where I had to take my final first year marks. So my transcript, I had to take it to the university, because at that point they didn't have an online application. We had to send everything postal. Yeah. So fine, we get there, and I just wasn't understanding the admin at the end of it. So
I understand.
yeah.
Okay,
so it was like, I don't know if these people are going to just take like they.
It just
Yeah,
Okay.
because I get there, I want to give them my transcript. I'm thinking maybe they'll like have a file with like my application and everything, and they just kept giving us a runaround. And I think from then I was just like, hey, this admin, I don't want to deal with all of this admin. And my parents were also just like, it's too many back and forths, so it's fine. So that was first year. Second year, it was when they had to extend our course because we had failed a module. We didn't meet the minimum requirements for a module.
Okay.
So then it was like, I'm not going to apply anyway. And already, I'm in second year. At the end of second year, I'm basically almost done with the degree. So I might as well finish it.
Wait, that module you're saying failed? Like the class failed?
The entire
class.
class.
Wow.
They were
so
like...
do those marks like reflect in your transcript?
No,
They
because
had
it's
to
not...
make you read
We
them.
didn't fail the tests or anything. It was... We didn't have record that we were in the clinics.
Oh, it's clinical stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't have...
the
like,
hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were there, but it was not... There's no, like...
On
paper.
record. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. The whole entire class had to do it again.
Sure.
But anyway... then in third year, because my third year started a couple of months after the normal academic year starts. So academic years usually start Jan-Feb. We started our third year in April. So already that meant that my third year is going to extend into the next year anyway. So I will apply at the end of third year. So end of third year, I applied to 5 universities: UCT, Stellenbosch, UKZN, UP, UFS. And UL, University of Limpopo, yeah. And then I waited it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And out of the 6, how many accepted you?
UP, UKZN.
And UKZN. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, UP and UKZN.
Okay. And all right, I just realized something. Today's the 22nd of August, which is exactly a year when I got my conditional offer at UP.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. I remember that day I was just sitting there at Res, you know, so anxious. And then I checked the portal and then it was right there. Like, you have been admitted on conditions. I was so confused at that time. I was just numb. I couldn't scream. I didn't bath. I just wore my flip-flops, took a taxi to Prince of Medical Campus, went there to ask them to check if it's not a mistake, you know. She even called that some head of what. What's happening? No, I still didn't get accepted. Yo, I was so happy.
Yeah.
But also scared now because with conditional it's not final.
Yeah.
I was like, what happens now if I don't meet the requirements?
Yeah.
And that lady made things worse. She was like, okay, you were able to get your conditional offer.
Yeah.
It means you're very much capable of maintaining.
Finishing it.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, pressure is on me now. I had to just push harder. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about your experience. Yeah.
Mine.
You got your conditional.
I got my conditional acceptance the 19th of August.
Right.
2019. Hey. Okay, I was working at that point in time. So every single day when I'm at work, I just like log onto the portals, check have they said anything. So UP had accepted me for dentistry because dentistry was my second choice. So they'd accepted me for dentistry a few days before. And I saw that acceptance and I was like,
no, you'll wait.
This is not it. You know, I will chill. So then I was still very anxious because I was always like checking the portals and when am I getting something from any of the universities at this point in time? So the one afternoon after work, I'm just very down. Like I'm just out of it. I'm like, okay, let me go to Starbucks and let me chill there for a while just to like relax my mind. And I'm at Starbucks and I'm trying to check my portal. Something goes wrong with my network, so I'm just so annoyed by it, but I'm just like, okay, whatever. Whatever. So then I take the car train back to my place and I go to my place. My roommate was asking, has anyone said anything? Have any of the universities said anything? Acceptance letter wise. I'm like, no, they haven't. But like at that point in time, I'm just like, I'm so over it. Like it's just like, what's this? Come on now, come on. So fine. I go to my room. My roommate is like, oh no, we'll just make dinner together. We'll chill together so that you don't overthink anything. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go to my room. I chill for a little while. I'm like, since at Starbucks, it didn't. I couldn't check it. Let me just
see now if anything.
But also in my mind, I'm thinking, it's after 5 o'clock. they've knocked off, so no one's sending acceptance letters after 5 o'clock, not knowing that the system is automated. So I'm there, I'm logging on, didn't read much. That whole thingy of
accepted,
yeah.
Wada.
I didn't even have to read you've been conditioned. No. I just saw accept, reject.
Yeah, you're like
screamed my lungs out. Yo, I was over the moon. So I take a screenshot of that, I send it to my mom. I'm like, look, she's like, what is it? I can't see, because I hadn't shotted everything. Then I'm like, okay, let me send it to you properly.
Yeah.
My mom is screaming, I'm crying.
Screaming. It's just an
oh my word, we're finally here. Like
finally.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you please just explain for people, because you have a degree, right?
Yes.
And you were at Wits. So most people would be like, okay, why didn't you apply for GEMP? Because you obviously did well in your degree.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do GEMP?
Okay. So with GEMP, I did oral hygiene. GEMP requires you to have done a first year university level chemistry, physics, and biology. I didn't do those in my first year. In first year, we automatically did physiology, anatomy, and dental subjects. Okay. So it was a thing of, after finishing my degree, I then have to go do first year university level chemistry, biology, and physics. And then only apply, after doing those, I'd have to apply the next year to write the WAT.
Okay. So there's gonna be a delay. Anyways.
Yeah. So I was just like, Andy's.
Yeah. I mean, 6 years is not so bad.
I mean, 6 years is a lot.
It's a lot. Okay, it is a lot. Okay, what's that one advice you'd give to yourself, your younger self in oral hygiene first year?
Okay, since in the first video I said take it easy, I'm taking it back.
Okay.
Believe in yourself. Yes. Believe in your capabilities. You know, rejection can hit us so hard that the first time it hits you, it's almost like your whole world just comes falling down, because it's like, this is it, you know. But I think the nice thing about life, I guess, or where you are in your life, if you have those advantages, is that you can try again and again and again and again. And so many times, I think as people, we think when things don't work out in our lives, we think maybe everybody is watching us. No, everybody else is so busy with their own things, right? So I just say to first year, just believe in yourself. Yeah.
You know, I agree with that, because like, you guys can use us as testimony. Like, okay, we didn't do so great in science, in matric, you know, and nothing changed. We didn't change intellectually, right? But we had to believe in ourselves first, and we knew that, okay, we are capable of getting those distinctions. That's when you started working towards them, because you knew that, you know, I can do it. If other people can, why not?
I had this thing, I had this thing that I'd say to myself, I think I started it in second year. Every single time I went to try to test, I'd say to myself, I have to get as close to 100% as I possibly can. Always. Always.
I did that as well.
And it helped me so much, because sometimes I'd get a 75, sometimes I'd get an 80, but it was,
the aim was 100.
I wouldn't say the aim was 100 all the time, but it was, I need to make sure that mark is very, very close to 100%.
So that if you fall, at least you're falling within a distinction.
Yeah,
and that's what you need. And I feel like another thing I'll tell myself is that do not be naive. You know, at some point, like, I had so limited access to information about med school requirements and whatnot, and I would apply even knowing that I don't meet the requirements to these medical schools, and I'd get hurt when I get rejected. So, you know, now I'm thinking, I'm like, no, but you're so naive. You need to be open to these resources. Find out why are they rejecting me. How can I improve on that as well? And own race, own pace, own lane, guys. Everyone's timing is different.
Definitely.
Whatever's meant for you will come to you.
It will happen.
But only if you put in
the work.
That's always important.
I definitely agree.
So you got accepted at tax. Around August. And then what happened to the other 4 universities?
UKZN accepted me 2 weeks into tax's program. So February.
You had registered already?
At tax, we had started our classes already. They call me, they're like, hey, we've got space for you. I'm like, wow, Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
And then UCT rejected me because I didn't write the NBT. I was like, well, I'm not gonna do it.
NBTs are hell. You know, I wrote those things. I wrote it 3 times and I failed the maths.
Nam.
I got 41, 42, 43. So I was like, you know what? Never again. If the university wants me to write NBTs, I'm like, nah. Let me not apply. Yeah.
So they rejected me. UL rejected me. UFS also rejected me. Stellenbosch was my first rejection letter.
Sure.
Yeah.
And with Stellenbosch, I only learned like towards the end of second year that if you are a student registered at another university, they don't take you into the amazing program.
So that's something very important.
Right. You need to be aware of those things. Like, if you applied maybe this year, you're doing BSc at another university or any other degree.
Yeah.
And then Stellenbosch rejected you, just know that they don't take you if
they're done with you.
Yeah, just complete that degree. Go and work, then apply.
Yeah. Okay. How did it feel? I don't know if you'll edit this backwards, but how did it feel your first rejection letter?
My first rejection. I think with me, I was more disappointed in myself.
Okay.
Then I was hurt by the rejection. Because I felt like, you know what, Sihle, you've never been a 50s person.
Right.
Like, you didn't even meet the minimum requirements. What? So, I was more disappointed and hurt.
Yeah.
And you, how did you?
I was so sad. I was so sad because
did
also...
you cry?
I did. I even called my mom. I journaled about it. I was...
You journaled? Wow.
I was sad.
You're so bougie.
I'd like to think I'm wholesome.
Wow, okay.
But I journaled about it only because it was like... I applied with my university marks, right? And they were like... I wouldn't say they were great marks, but they were really good marks. So it was almost like... if this is not good enough for you guys, then what is? Like, I just felt like...
And you felt like that was your best. You've done...
Exactly. I've given it everything, you know? So it was just like...
But we move, guys. You know? It is what it is. What is important is just to keep pushing. Yeah. Tell yourself you can and you will. You will. Set those goals. Set those goals.
I think every time that we talk about goal setting, we talk about it in such a nonchalant way, but setting goals, it actually just helps because in your daily activities, you're going to want to incorporate some sort of I don't know, some sort of routine that helps you get to those goals. Like you cannot aim to get A's and then only study the night before. It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It also helps you with consistency. To get good grades, one thing you need is consistency. Consistency in your studying, consistency in your revision, And also I think very, very important, consult. We don't... when you first start university and they're like, guys, consult your lecturers. We don't actually take it to head until you go and consult and you're like, wow, I would have never known that. It actually helped. Don't be intimidated by lecturers. Go there if you don't understand.
Their job is to help you.
Exactly.
I don't know now with COVID.
Maybe virtually emails. But it was so much nicer when you could see them.
Consultations. A1.
Also, not just lecturers, consult your peers. If there's there's John or Sipo in your class who gets 90s. And when you're getting 40s and you want to get 90s, so go to that person. How are you getting 90s?
Definitely.
And some people are actually cool, they'll actually share resources with you. And but with me, what really carried me through BSc was past papers. So that was my winning weapon. I never really studied harder than anyone else. I studied max 4 days or 5 days before a test. So I would compile past papers maybe from 2011 till 2018. So I had this 3 choir that I did. I compiled memos for myself, but there were no minutes. It was just question papers. So I look at the question and then I go to my slides or I YouTube that section and then I try to get an answer. I write it down. Biochemistry, I never used slides. Second year. I would use past papers. I did maybe, I don't know, maybe more than 100 past papers for my BSc.
Kind of what's biochemistry, amino acids breaking down,
metabolism and all that. What was your winning strategy? Your study method that really...
I just studied.
How?
I would cross night.
Cross night, yes.
So my routine when I was still living in Brum, because in my third year I moved closer to the health science campus in Parktown.
Where's that? Parktown.
It's in Parktown,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So when I was still living in Brum, I'd come back from campus 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'm sleeping, or maybe I'll eat and then sleep. I wake up at 9 o'clock, I shower, I go on to campus. I'm studying on campus from 9 o'clock in the evening till 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to sleep just before until my class starts. That was my routine every single day.
So you'd go into class without sleeping?
Remember, I just come back 4 o'clock.
4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 a.m.
Okay, sleep from 4 to?
Till maybe 7. My classes started
okay, at 9.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
alright.
And then, go to school, come back. That was my routine, literally just studying. Then in my third year, my classmates and I, we lived in the same student accommodation. So then she would study, I would study, then we'd have to meet at a certain time to revise together. What I don't know, she would teach me, and then what she doesn't know, I would teach her.
And that helps so much.
So much.
Like, share information. Like, something you are finding difficult, you'll find that your classmates find it so easy and they explain it so...
Yes, and then you'll never forget that concept ever again. So yeah, that's what I did. Did I use past papers? I don't know if I used. Maybe sometimes I use past papers, but it was mainly just sitting down.
So time.
Yeah.
Dedicating time to your
Yeah.
studies. Wow. Thank you so much, Gile, for
It's a pleasure.
for being here. And you can follow Gile on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes, what do you do? Just quickly tell them what you do on Instagram.
I share my med school journey, and then I also give oral health tips. And I'm hoping in the future, once I know my schoolwork, I can give medical health tips.
Nice. And qualified dental hygienist. Yes. So can you just give us 1 or 2 oral health tips before we go?
If your gums are bleeding, that's usually a first indication of a gum infection. So if you're just brushing your gums and you notice your gums bleeding, know that you have a gum infection. Try and go to a dentist or a dental professional to get a cleaning. And your fluoride, your toothpaste needs to have fluoride. Do not use toothpaste without fluoride. It's then useless.
Are the normal brands like your Colgates?
Yeah, the mainstream brands, like the ones that you find at your Clicks and Discount, they're usually, most of the toothpastes have fluoride. It's just these other smaller brands that
those weird ones.
That talk about organic. I don't know, but
don't compromise on your toothpaste, guys.
No.
Buy the proper brands.
You guys, you want these teeth until
the
end of your life.
Yeah.
This is all you have.
Yeah.
So you need to take care of it.
Alright, thank you so much, Gile.
It is a pleasure.
Yeah, so guys, don't forget to...
Oh, don't forget to... Do you say like or comment first?
Anything.
Don't forget to like. Give it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below.
And
subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Bye, guys.